After the devastating bushfires of 2019 to 2020 that saw close to 3 billion wild animals killed, Australia is getting ready for this year's fire season. Koalas already are worryingly low in numbers. They're particularly vulnerable. And in Sydney region, they also face many other dangers, including habitat loss and disease. Here's a report.
They are cute, furry and peaceful creatures known around the world as one of Australia's icons. First hunted for their pelts when their population was close to 8 million, koalas now face threats probably worse than human guns and traps. Government authorities, scientists and private organizations dedicated to the protection of the tree marsupials now say their population has dramatically declined, pushing them very close to becoming an endangered species. On top of that, young females will only give birth to one joey per year at most.
What we know with climate change is that this is going to increase in frequency and in severity. They're the two things that we know, and so that's a real challenge that we have to look into the future and forecast and build resilience in our habitats and our response capabilities as well.
Present only in the eastern part of Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria and in South Australia, their habitat is threatened by many dangers. Logging and deforestation to make way for housing developments and roads and the well-documented bushfires are all devastating news for the koalas, who depend on unfragmented forest areas and eucalyptus trees for survival. Roads cutting through a koala's home perimeter are a problem. The marsupial will cross them to get to other trees and thus risk being hit or even killed by vehicles. Housing development and logging basically destroys the whole of a koala's home.
So it's really important that not only do we keep really large areas for koala habitat, that also they're always connected in many veined and many threaded ways with other koala colonies and other habitat areas around, so that therefore those numbers can sort of feed into each other. And it's also really important if we have another bushfire, so that if there's another bushfire event or something like that, koalas can escape to somewhere else.
In recent years, the relentless frequency of natural disasters such as bushfires and droughts is causing much concern. Koalas simply don't have enough time to recover between events. In the 2019-2020 mega bushfires alone, more than 61,000 koalas are thought to have died. Droughts and heat waves create their own special dangers. Since the bushfires, first responders received special training to rescue koalas. The Taronga Conservation Society Australia and the National Park Services have come up with a plan of action and an online training course for first responders in case of a bushfire. The course teaches participants to assess whether wildlife is injured, identify the species and report back to the incident management team coordinating the fire response.
We are the problem, and we need to do a lot better to help these guys live where they live, because they were here before us. We choose to live where they live, and we need to be more mindful of that and learn to do what we can to live more adequately together.
So protecting koalas has a surprisingly broader and more far-reaching positive effect. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.